baby a me kono me bre ti me agasa me hwa me hu just say e bia ya le nti ni pampa masam.
Fistula is an abnormal communication between the birth canal and the reservoir for urine, and between the birth canal and the reservoir for feces. And patients who suffer from fistula tend to be wet all the time, and they also smell of urine or feces or both, depending on what circumstances they are in. Most patients will have either leakage of urine or the leakage of feces, but occasionally they leak both urine and feces. And usually the patients are very miserable and they look rejected and they feel unaccepted by society.
Maybe walk on the 3 days no more me call papa second your president and so neighbor no more me call bato or more 3 times. And ye na ba Professor Lasiba ye ba Kolibu. Anu de ye me name party me nanti at meeting na ye be bibia me fuka.
Over the years in Ghana, UNFPA has led the campaign against obstetric fistula, and from 2005 to date, they are the lead agency in this country working or supporting the care for such patients. They have mechanisms to go and look for these patients in the various communities and mobilize them into health facilities for surgical repair. They also facilitate the transport, boarding and lodging of surgeons to operate on these patients. But why should someone go to recruit the patients? Because the patients themselves are in hiding. You don't easily find them. They don't easily come to hospital because they can't board a vehicle to come like everybody else who knows they have a problem. Fistula is also shrouded in a lot of mystery, and there's a lot of spiritism and myths surrounding fistula. The women are blamed for not being faithful to their husbands, and some are forced to confess before they are taken to hospital, which only prolongs their agony and often will lead them to fistula. So some of these misunderstandings and misconceptions about fistula is also only helping to worsen the plight of these women. Most of them just want to live a normal life and go and have a child, but ultimately the baby that results in fistula also dies. So at the end of the day, they suffer the loss of a child, they are divorced by their husbands, and they are rejected by their family. So they really are the people with no hope, and they need other people to come in to speak on their behalf. By and large, we have ministries of gender, children and social protection supporting the work of UNFPA. The Ghana Health Service, the Ministry of Health have also played some policy roles, but there's a lot more that needs to be done to actually eliminate fistula from our country. We have to look at access to roads, we have to look at access to emergency obstetric services, because when there's obstructed labor and there's no immediate cesarean section, then this woman can lead to fistula. And for this reason, fistula is affecting all age categories. It's all over the country. No region is exempted. And anywhere labor is obstructed and there's no access to emergency obstetric service, fistula is likely to occur.
I got to hear of United Nations Population Fund Ghana into fistula activities after the campaign to end fistula was launched worldwide in 2003. UNFPA had also sponsored people to do a base assessment of fistula and fistula activities in the country, led by Professor Lasse, Dr. Ali Samba, and a number of gynecologists. Then at the end of the day, they came out that fistula was rampant in the entire country, but it was more predominant in the 3 northern regions, part of Volta region and part of Grand Hafo region, and that other patients from the nearby countries, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso troop in to get treatment here in Ghana.
UNFPA is committed to ending obstetric fistula in Ghana and globally. In Ghana, we collaborate with the Ghana Health Service, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, the National Obstetric Fistula Task Force Team, among other strategic partners in the fight to end obstetric fistula. With the funding from Maternal Health Thematic Fund and other financial sources, we collaborate and support the identification and mobilization of women and girls with obstetric fistula and assist with their surgical repairs. We are also very much involved with the rehabilitation and providing the skills that they need in helping to reintegrate them into their societies. UNFPA Ghana is very happy to support outreach programs in facilities such as our very own Temale Fistula Center. We are delighted when every woman and girl who undergoes surgery becomes dry again.